All right, we're back in Frisco. It's Big 12 Pro Days, and I think perhaps as tough a guy that I watched play football in college, West Virginia's Garrett Greene, who's going to play defensive back. That's what you're looking at. I'm sorry, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, you could play middle linebacker as far as I'm concerned. It's tough as nails. What was the thought process? Is that your best chance? Did somebody tell you that would be your best opportunity?
Yeah, no, I think just talking with my agent, with his talks with teams, he thought it would be, the best way for me to make an impact on an NFL roster was playing receiver. And kind of like growing up, that's what my background was in. I really didn't start playing quarterback until my sophomore year of high school, about halfway through that season. So really like growing up, I was running back and receiver. So it's kind of second nature. There's obviously a lot more nuances and stuff that, I'm learning as I go.
Did you, was that situation where you moved to quarterback, was it, well, we've got one of the better athletes on the team here, let's just make sure we give him the ball a little bit to move it around, and then it turned into something? Did you even expect to be a quarterback after that season was over?
Yeah, so that was always my dream was, especially growing up in the South, everyone wants to be the starting quarterback and all that, and then actually it was the inverse, was I was a good athlete, and that's why they put me at receiver and running back and stuff, in youth ball. But then in high school, they needed someone to be able to run the ball more at quarterback. And, the guy that was playing in front of me, he couldn't really run. In our high school offense, the quarterback ran a lot. So they put me in there, and the rest is kind of history.
How do you feel like today went for you? I mean, what were you kind of looking to accomplish and show for everybody?
Yeah, no, I think I was just definitely, looking forward to kind of getting out there and, showing guys that I can run routes and I can, it's easy catching the ball. And, also like my 40, I haven't gotten the official time, but I felt good. It felt like I was rolling. So I feel pretty good about today.
You threw it to wide receivers. Now you're the one catching it from quarterbacks. Does that give you an advantage because you know a little bit about that part of it on the other end?
Yeah, I think it definitely gives me, a little bit of advantage just with how route concepts work, knowing the progressions, and then also pre-snap, knowing, because standing back there at quarterback, you kind of have to see the full picture. And I think having my background in playing quarterback, for 4 or 5 years in college, I can kind of see the full picture at receiver now and not just see, the man that's in front of me.
You went to Childs High School in Tallahassee. Yep. I just got to ask you, as an FSU grad, how did we not get you?
Well, I think there was, when I was really getting recruited, it was Willie Taggart. He was the head coach.
Say no more.
And and I kind of got recruited, and then, Coach Norvell, he got the job, I think it was 17 days before signing day.
Oh, really?
And at that point, I was already committed to West Virginia. But yeah, no, he was hard on me, recruiting me, for those, last 2 weeks before signing day.
How have you kind of processed last year, the way the season went, the way obviously the program went as far as a different direction, playing for Neil Brown, and then just kind of watching all the change that's occurred since then? Have you sort of wrapped your head around all that?
Yeah, I think yes and no. Obviously, I was up there, this last week just kind of getting in some last prep work, and, things are a lot different around the building. But, I have faith in our athletic director, Ren Baker. I have faith in Rich Rod and, all the guys that are there that, they're going to succeed. Last year didn't go as we planned. There was just a few things here and there that, if I do better, some games turn out different. But, I'm confident in the way the program's heading.
Did you know Rich Rod at all? Or did you get to meet him when you were back there?
Yeah, I met him a couple times because they're kind of doing spring ball right now, so he's super busy. But passing by, we had some conversations, and it's good to see it. Kind of all my younger teammates. They look happy, and the team looks good.
We had Wyatt Milam on yesterday, and of course he's a bad dude. Tremendous offensive lineman. How much the mentality of what he brought to the table and having him blocking for you?
It was awesome. Having him as the left tackle. I never really had to worry about my blind side. Even when we opened up against Penn State and Abdul Carter was lining up on top of him, he did a great job with him. And I think the thing that gets talked about is how he is in the run game. And he's a vicious guy. He wants bodies on the floor in the run game, and it's awesome to run behind, and it's also awesome to hand the ball off and watch the the running backs just hit the hole as he clears it.
Is it weird as a quarterback to, like, because everybody else, like, you get sacked and you get hit. Sometimes because you're a running quarterback, it's your fault because you drew it out too much. But if you just get, blown through, you're going to go back and say, like, hey, who missed their protection? But you never, for 2 years, you never had to do that with Wyatt. That is wild.
Yeah, no, I think really what he does best is he sees the full game. So, like, if they're in, like, an odd front and he has the edge, and he made all the calls to push it, where I really got spoiled because I had Zach Frazier at center last year and he handled all the protections, and Wyatt Milam this year he was kind of directing traffic over there, so it was awesome.
What was your favorite part about being a West Virginia Mountaineer?
I think just getting the opportunity to play for the full state. I think that's something that's very unique and very special to West Virginia. Is there's no professional teams, there's no other Power 5 teams, and I think that's something that's really special because, for better or for worse, the whole state is really, like, cares about football, and they care about how we do.
Yeah, they've been stung here lately with the basketball coach leaving the way that happened and getting left out of the tournament.
I don't know. I don't know how that. I don't know how they get left out of the tournament.
Not a lot of people do, and then have a guy leave immediately. That just that almost seemed predetermined.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm not in that world. But I mean, something seems up. But I'm confident that they'll get another great coach.
How often did you finish a game where you weren't, like, completely just beaten up, bruised, bumps, cuts, whatever?
A lot when I was younger because I didn't play.
Stayed healthy.
That's very honest of you.
But as I started playing, not really, just because the ability to have a running quarterback is you get extra hats in the run game, and I think it's a lot easier to block 5 with 7 and not 6. So I think that we did that a lot this year as an offense. So I took a pretty good beating.
Nico, highly recruited guy, came in behind you. Kind of a unique situation. A lot of times a guy like Nico would say, you know what, like, we're not that far apart. Like, he's the starter. I'm going to go. But he stuck it out, and he's there now. How well are they set up with him going in, especially with the new system? Somebody who, even though it's different, has been there, has the confidence of his teammates and all that. Yeah,
I think Nico's, first of all, he's one of my best friends, but also – watching his growth and development over these last, 2-3 years, really the man that he's become, how much more serious he's taken, film preparation, body preparation, and all that stuff now compared to when he was a freshman. So I have all the faith in the world that he's going to be successful there this year.
Have you watched Taysom Hill at all much?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, I don't know the speeds or whatever, but is there a way that a player like that opens the door up for a player like you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think one of the main differences me and Taysom Hill is he's like 6'4".
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
I don't know what you're talking about here. I don't see height.
Yeah.
I don't see height.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that, he's kind of in some ways paved the way to kind of have a Swiss Army knife back there where, he can do a ton of things. Like, I saw Taysom Hill lining up at fullback. And so, I mean, he can do a lot of that stuff. And so I think it opens up some doors for me.
Garrett Greene, West Virginia, and wide receiver. What are your expectations the next few weeks? What else, just besides being seen and answering questions?
Yeah, no, I definitely think just, continuing to work at receiver, and, if teams want to come in and, work me out, I'm more than willing to. That's my job now is to run routes. So, I feel confident in all and just ready for the process to continue.
What is the difference between running a route and knowing how a route's supposed to be run? Like, because you know how they're all supposed to be run. You know where you want the ball, like where the quarterback's going to want the ball. That's an advantage. Yeah. But actually doing it, what's the difference?
I think actually running the route.
Yeah.
Because it's really tough to be running full speed, stop on a dime, and come back to the quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I think just through reps of, running those routes and getting the timing down, will be big.
Man, it's good to see you.
Yes,
we love the way
you
play, your style, toughness, and that. Sometimes you hear that. No, you're also very athletic and had some great wins along the way. Thanks for your time. Good luck with that transition and also the next month.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Garrett Greene, West Virginia, with us on 365 Sports.